All right, let's go on an amazing journey through time. We're going to see how computers came to be, starting from way, way back when people were just counting on their fingers, all the way to the incredible machines that pretty much run our world today.
So, in this explainer, we're going to trace that entire history. We'll check out the earliest tools for counting, all the way up to the gadgets you use every single day. We'll learn to spot different kinds of computers and really get how they became such a huge part of our lives. Okay, let's dive right in.
Long before we had smartphones or even simple calculators, people still had to count things, right? You know, sheep in a field, items in a market. So what do they do when the numbers got big? How did they manage all that without any tech? Let's find out how it all began.
I mean, just imagine trying to count every kid in your school using only your fingers. It would get super tricky fast. And that's exactly the problem they had. This method was fine for small stuff, but as soon as the numbers started climbing, people knew they needed a better way.
And boom, here was the solution. The abacus. You got to understand, this thing was a total game changer for its time. By just sliding these little beads on rods, where each rod was for ones or tens or hundreds, people could suddenly do some pretty complex math and do it fast. It was basically the world's very first mechanical calculator.
So the abacus was a fantastic start, but what came next was even cooler. Let's look at how we went from tools you had to move by hand to these incredible machines with gears and wheels that could actually do the math for you.
And don't worry, they weren't actual bones. They were these really cool sets of rods with multiplication tables carved right onto them. You just lined up the rods for the numbers you wanted to multiply, and the answer was right there for you to add up. It was a super clever shortcut for some seriously tough math problems.
And this was the next giant leap. We're not just talking about rods anymore. This was a real machine. It had all these gears inside that would turn and click and automatically spit out the right answer. This was the moment machines really started to, think for us.
You can totally see the journey here, right? It goes from the simple beads of the abacus to the clever rods of Napier's bones, and then bam, the mechanical gears of Pascal's wheel. Each new invention was built on the ideas of the last one, making calculations faster and way more powerful over time.
Now, all these machines were awesome at math, but they were kind of one-trick ponies. So, who was the person who imagined a machine that could do so much more than just calculate? Well, let's meet him.
This is the guy Charles Babbage. Way back in 1837, he designed something called the analytical engine. And let me tell you, this machine was completely ahead of its time. It was never actually finished, but the ideas in his design, they are the absolute core of every modern computer. That's why we call him the father of the computer.
And here's the part that changed everything. The analytical engine wasn't just a fancy calculator. It was designed to have a memory. It could store information and then use that information in later calculations. That single idea, storing and reusing data, is the foundation of every computer, smartphone, and tablet we have today.
So Babbage's dream of a machine you could program finally came true. Now fast forward to today, and computers are literally everywhere, doing everything from letting us play games to guiding spaceships. But not all computers are the same. Let's meet the four main types.
Okay, what's really cool here is that we can sort computers into these four main groups based on their size and power. We've got microcomputers, think laptops and phones. Then you level up to mini-computers, which small businesses might use. After that come the big mainframes that huge companies use for massive amounts of data. And at the very top, you've got supercomputers, these giant room-sized machines doing the most complex science in the world.
So out of all those types, there's one we see and use all the time, maybe without even thinking about it. Let's take a much closer look at the amazing world of microcomputers.
Yep, that's right. They are absolutely everywhere. I'll bet you've already used a few of them just today. Ever wonder where they're all hiding in plain sight?
You definitely know this one. You might have one at home or see them lined up in your school's computer lab. These are powerful machines, perfect for getting homework done, playing games, and learning all sorts of new things.
And then there are laptops. Laptops are just awesome because they squeeze all that desktop power into a little package you can carry. You can take them anywhere, the library, a friend's house, or even on a family trip.
And of course, we have these guys. They're perfect for just touching the screen to get things done. So good for reading books, drawing, and watching videos when you're on the go.
Surprise! That screen in your family's car that shows you the map or lets you pick a song, that's a computer too. These little computers help cars run safely and make every trip way more entertaining.
And this is really why this all matters so much. These microcomputers have a huge impact on our lives every single day. They're the tools we use to learn in schools, they help doctors save lives in hospitals, they keep money safe in banks, and they connect us to the whole world from our own homes. They've really become a vital part of our society.
So go on, take a look around you right now. Your phone, the TV, maybe the microwave or the thermostat on the wall. How many computers can you actually spot? It's incredible to think that we went from an abacus to having supercomputers in our pockets. The journey has completely reshaped our world in ways Charles Babbage could have only dreamed of.
So, what do you think is coming next in this incredible story? Thanks for joining me on this journey.